Hey guys, it's sort of mid-morning and a couple of hours from now I'm going to be having a couple of operations, and something that was mentioned in a previous video that really hit home again today was the setsume, was the explanations. So a couple of days ago we had a couple of hours with one of the nursing staff going through every step from the admission to the checking out at the end of the procedures. So like a week later or 2 weeks later or whatever it'll end up being. But the interesting thing was, that was the first one. So she explained every step of the process. It took about 2 hours. And then since then, the doctor's visited a couple of times and he's given some pretty long explanations. And the anaesthetist visited and he gave a pretty long explanation. And then another doctor that's involved in the operation, just sort of a junior doctor, came and he gave a big long explanation. That was all yesterday. And then so far today, we're still 2 hours away from the operations themselves. And so far today we've had one of the nursing staff from the ward came in with a big long list of things to explain, and she went through and explained them all, things that are going to happen today about the preparation and so on. And then a team came in from the operating theatre itself, and they've been working their way through the ward talking to people having operations today. And there was 3 nurses and a doctor. And they came in and, do you have any concerns? Is there anything you're worried about? And gave a bit of a briefing as well. And then off they went. And then just now, the nursing sister from the theatre sister just came in, and she had a couple of pages as well. And a lot of it sort of overlaps. So a lot of the explanation that they're giving is stuff that's already been explained by other people, and it overlaps. But it's obviously reassuring, because it means they're being super thorough. Nothing's being left to chance. A lot of the explanation is just about things like procedure, but it's also things about, they check constantly. They ask your name and they swipe with a reader. They swipe the armband on the arm that says what your name is, and ask you your name, and they ask you what procedure you're going to have today. And they ask it again. Now, we're still 2 hours out from the operation, so we've still got a lot of preparation to do. They're going to come take me away in a minute to do some more preparation. So there's still a lot of preparation to do, and obviously more explanation. And then right at the end, the last, when you get to the theatre door, they've told me this already. When you get to the theatre door, the doctor and the nurses will all be there, and they'll do an explanation again, and they'll confirm what procedures they're going to be doing today. And I have to tell them what procedures they're doing today to make sure that they've got and my name and my date of birth, to make sure they get the right person. So there's a couple aspects to this. One is, it's an incredible amount of explanation, and it does overlap. So quite often you're hearing the same thing again and again. So that's pretty amazing, which has 2 aspects. One is, obviously, it's very reassuring, because it means that they're being very, very thorough and very, very sort of almost pedantic about every little point, which is quite reassuring, really, when they're about to cut you off. The other thing is that it's really difficult to understand, because it's a lot of medical stuff. So if your Japanese wasn't up to scratch, you'd have a really hard time understanding it all, and the process would stop if you didn't understand what was going on, because it's really important. So, and it, unlike a lot of situations like going to the bank or the post office or something in Japan, if you couldn't do it yourself, you couldn't really have someone to translate for you, because there's sort of, you know, it happens 24 hours a day. I mean, they come in at 3 o'clock in the morning and ask you questions and talk to you. So it'd be difficult. It would be difficult. And we mentioned this on previous videos. You know, if you had a choice, if it was some sort of procedure that you needed that you could go back to your own country and get it, you'd probably be better off going back, because you either need a pretty good amount of Japanese, and then even then there's a lot of terms that you've got no idea what they mean, because you've never heard them before, you know, and that makes it difficult. And you've got to ask them, what are you talking about? And then they have to explain it. Oh, yeah, okay. So it could be pretty scary and stressful if you couldn't keep up with it. And a little bit of a basic medical knowledge is sort of reassuring as well, because you can sort of start to get the gist of what they're saying. You catch on, oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about there. So, yeah, interesting. The setsume. we've talked about setsumé on other videos, and this is a classic example because it's such an important thing. Of course, you know, it's sort of, you know, very important sort of surgery. You know, life or death sort of stuff. Obviously, they're really, really careful, and so the setsumé thing goes right over the top. If you haven't seen the other setsumé video, have a look, because it's right through Japanese life, the setsumé, and not only important things, lots of really unimportant things too have big long setsumé involved. So anyway, setsumé, hospital setsumé. The name of the video is going to have to be hospital setsumé. Anyway, there it was. Off for an interesting day now. More videos coming soon.